What's up guys, Dylan here from Veteran Aquatics, and today we are going to do a fish room tour for Paps fish. So make sure to stay tuned. They have some awesome tanks and an awesome setup because you're going to want to see, what they were able to do and on a budget. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and I'll see you in a minute. So Paps Fish is a husband and wife run team. They breed their own fish, they sell them, and they have shipped so far to 18 different states. So if you're interested in any of the fish that you're about to see, I will put a link to their Facebook page in the description below. You can reach out to them, odds are they ship to you. Their prices are very, very fair, and they have some really cool fish. A lot of stuff that you don't see too often. Alright, so again, link down in the description. Let's check out the tour. So starting the tour, we have Angelfish. Do you want to tell me a little bit about how you got the angels? Are you an angel person in general?
Well, we like angels. These have definitely grown on us. These guys came to us as a rehome, and once we got them in the tank here and saw their personalities, we decided to keep them, and that became their main home.
It's awesome. There's some beautiful angels. I mean, I have a ton of them at home too, and I love angels. If you ever decide you want to rehome these, just let me know.
We do have a pair in there, which you can see they're kind of keeping some distance there.
Yep.
2 suction leaves. We've had eggs on twice. We seem to like them.
So these are actually really cool. Are they actual live leaves or are they silk?
No, they're just
fake plastic.
Yeah. Plastic.
I think that's a cool idea though, give them an interesting little place to spawn instead of like the traditional breeding slate or the breeding cone.
Right. Well, they've bred on that broadleaf real plant behind them, but we're running out of leaves.
Right.
So
yeah, gotta give them something new.
Try something else.
Well, hopefully next time you get to keep the fry and raise them up. Angelfish are really cool looking when they're small, I think. Are these more bettas?
It's juvenile betta immaculata.
Betta immaculata.
Yep, it's the parents are an F1 from a wild caught pair, and in that tank it's probably about their 4th or 5th spawn.
Wow, that's awesome though. F1s are always fun. F1s are always exciting. You get to be the first person to breed them in the aquarium and kind of start your own line from there.
Yeah, yep, it was a good purchase, and we enjoyed it, and we very much enjoyed having the parents. It's very fun to watch the Mouthbrooders, and watch him and how long he holds, and it's good stuff.
Yeah. Everybody's used to regular bettas, so when you start to getting into the mouth-brooding ones, everyone's like, you mean there are mouth-brooding bettas?
Right.
I thought only cichlids did that.
Yep.
So it's really cool to see the different ways that different things spawn, just depending on where they are, where they're from in the world.
Multiple species.
Yeah. So it's a really interesting thing to see. You have a bunch of awesome guppies in here, and there's a ton of all of these little plecos in here. They're just scattered throughout all these tanks. So they're awesome.
So full red albino guppies. Brown spotted bristlenose plecos. You got white Hercules, snails, some random brown ram's horns, Pogostentus octopus plant floating on the surface, random driftwood.
I love these guppies. That bright orange color is just
they're
gorgeous
they're a stunning fish.
Absolutely.
Got them from a local breeder, so I definitely trust his stock.
Local is always the best way to go. 1, they're probably used to your water, and 2, you usually get a better price on them.
Yes. The substrate in there is that black diamond blasting sand.
I use the same stuff in all my tanks.
That is the fine grit. A lot of people don't like fine grit because it does kick up a little dust, if you will, if you get a big tail flick from a fish. But we don't have that much of an issue with the plecos. So it does well for us. And we actually have some emerald cories in there as well. And that's a very good substrate for the cories. Lets them sift it through their mouth and gills. And
there's one.
It's
a finer, softer substrate. Whereas like I use the medium grade, but it's because I keep bigger fish.
Yep.
But yeah, this is a nice substrate for something like a bottom dweller that spends a lot of time. Because that's one problem that some people have had, where bottom dwelling fish with the coarser grit black diamond, it's torn up their fins or torn up their bellies or something like that, and like the plecos and catfish. So there are two kinds, people. There are two kinds, and they are the same price. Go to Tractor Supply if you want black sand and get black diamond blasting sand.
Yep.
Looks good in all the tanks. Now these down here, these are super cool, and I love, these because they're live bearers, and it's not something that I think maybe outside of Karen's fish room I've never seen.
Yeah, they have a little bit of rarity to them. They're on the CARES program. It's a Mecca Splendens. I see the males with the nice yellow tail. Females have nice color patterns to them. Like I said, live bearer, they give fry their 1/8 inch to a 1/4 inch at birth. It's a very big live bearer fish.
Seems like it'd be a little bit easier to care for than something like an Endler. A little bit bigger, a little bit better of a chance starting out, maybe.
We haven't really noticed much of a difference ourselves. We have noticed that seasonal change definitely triggers the spawning.
Yeah, is it like a cold weather thing, a storm thing, hot weather thing?
I think it's more of a seasonal winter into summer type of a large transition, not necessarily a pressure change you see with storm front or something.
Yeah, like stuff like rams will do it on a low front, whereas these it's like more just like springtime, like the transition period.
Yeah,
that time of year.
Yep.
Awesome. Another cool live bearer. If you guys didn't know, there are different things besides guppies, mollies, and platies.
20 fish in there.
Is there really 20 fish in there? Because I think I've seen 3.
Yeah, once you...
They're all hiding. Because it's Mabuna.
Yeah, it's Mabuna.
So Mabuna,
well, here,
there's one.
How about we do this trick? Let's fix the food.
Food.
Food talks.
Food does talk.
Do a little flake.
And what are we feeding them?
Just a little flake to get in the water. Just draw them out. We feed pellets and a couple different goodies for them, but flake get down in there a little better.
The yellow lab's coming out now. Wow, there is a whole bunch of them in there. Because I only saw 2 the whole time I've been in here. So why Mabuna?
We like small fish.
Okay.
And Mabuna, the yellow labs and Denisoni, can comfortably house a little colony in a 55, and great colors on them.
Yep.
It's flashy, and it's a cichlid tank, but we don't need a 3,000 gallon tank to house them in. We just provide ample home, ample hideouts.
Yep, the rock work is the important
plenty
thing.
Of filtration.
Yep, I mean, you can see there's all these different filters on it.
And air stone and a hang on the back in a 55.
Yep, but you need to do it for the cichlids because they have a bio load and there's a bunch of them in here.
Yep.
Oh, they're just all coming out now. I can't believe there were that many in here. The whole time I've been in here, like I said, I've seen 2 or 3.
Yeah, yep.
That's awesome though. That's super cool to see them come out like that.
Yeah, yep. Yeah, every now and then we'll tear down the tank and give it a good deep clean, re-establish territories, help aggression.
Right, and you have to do that with Africans, especially Mabuna. The yellow labs aren't so bad, at least in terms of Mabuna. They're not as mean as some of the others, but it's a good thing to do every once in a while to prevent that aggression, because Mabunas are little murder machines sometimes.
Yeah, once they signal someone out, man, it doesn't turn out well.
So breaking it up and breaking up those territories is really important when you keep cichlids. So we have more guppies here, and I actually really love the females in here. They're very pretty for females, and the males, as well. So you wanna talk about this tank a little bit, because we were talking about it earlier.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it started as my wife's hobby, And Guppies grew me as I did my research, and we did research, and the red dragon mosaics kind of stuck out, and I ended up finding a local breeder that I was able to get 2 trios off of, and
now you have all these.
Stuck them in the Facebook Marketplace sourced discounted used fluval tank, and I've done well. That's probably our 4th spawn. We've sold some, gave some away. So good looking fish. Looks like my first interest in them, really. And
so when I got back into fish keeping after all these years, I actually kept red dragons.
okay.
Were the first set of guppies I had. They came from Thailand. They were really nice. I got a trio of them. They were really nice. They bred out for a while. And then I just got out of the guppies and actually ended up giving them all away.
Yeah, it's a very good fish for your amateur or people that have definitely, more interest in it than that for showing. Fun genetics and gene work can play into it down the lines. And
Yeah, you can spend your time and spend a couple years developing your own line based on the characteristics that you want to show and come out with a top tier fish for sure. And these are the things I think I like most in here, because now we're in cichlids, the Americans. These are APISTOS cockatoides, and he's got a pair of them in here, a breeding pair. And he won't do it right now, but if I could get to the side. They're called cockatoides because of that very long dorsal that they have and the way it sits up when they flare. And they're absolutely awesome little, dwarf cichlids. And, you have them in a 10-gallon tank. There's not many cichlids you can keep in a 10-gallon tank.
yeah, yep, some moss in there. Could use a little more flow, but all in all, it's doing pretty well.
Hey, they're
2
breeding.
spawns from that pair. There's a bunch of fry in there right now, probably around 20 or so. Very small.
I saw a couple of them.
They're colored very well for the territory they're in. Definitely blend and hide very well.
There's one way in the back. Yeah, he's awesome. The male's colored up really nice. His finnage is pretty awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And then I don't remember what these are, so you'll have to help me here.
That's the Supertrophius Denisoni juveniles, and there's a female in there too that's holding right now. But it's just to grow out till they find a new home or get big enough to go back into the main community tank.
Makes sense. Now for beta people, here's one of the first nicer ones, and it's hard to see because of the glare, but there you go. It's an awesome blue and white.
Yeah, that's a blue Dalmatian pair in there. It's a half moon placat, splendid.
You can see why your wife likes them so much. They're very pretty bettas. I'm sure my wife would love them too.
Yes, yeah, as far as the coloration goes, I mean, it's a good blue and white hibernation.
You have the almond leaves in there, I'm assuming for the tannins.
Yeah, Indian almond leaves for tannins. They also provide a nice surface cover for a bubble nest to be built into.
And I'm assuming that's what all the... Is that frog bit?
That is giant duckweed.
Gotcha. I was going to say it looks a little too small to be...
Yeah,
frog
frog
bit.
bit got there to the left.
Yeah.
A little bit bigger, waxy leaf.
You have a lot of duckweed in your tanks. You have all kinds of floating plants in your tanks. You have all kinds of plants in your tanks.
Yes.
So plants don't like me, and, well, I have a couple of plants. I have some jungle val and a bow front, but that's pretty much it. All of your tanks are planted. I think the only one that's not is that Mabuna tank. And it looks awesome. I mean, seeing all this green, as a rack and lit up with all these different fish is awesome. Because when I first saw your fish, it was just pictures of them in the group. And then now I'm here and I get to see it in person, and I have to say, like, pictures don't really do them justice, because you have some beautiful, beautiful tanks set up here. You did a good job using the space, and you've found your kind of niche at the moment. More guppies. These are awesome. What are these?
Well, we started off with 3 pair of what were labeled purple grass. Purple grass.
Right, purple bluegrass.
Actually, I'm sorry, it was cherry, not purple.
Okay.
They had a purple color to them.
Right.
But through breeding, we found that it's probably a bluegrass gene that was pulled out and targeted towards more of the cherry, the purple color.
So kind of just a selective breeding kind of
now
bluegrass.
at this point, they kind of mutt it down a little bit to just being a nice pastel blue, a nice pastel purple, kind of a mix. To just kind of breed them and see where we go with them, and just enjoying that they are a nice looking fish.
Well, there's a ton of fry in there, so they're definitely breeding well.
Oh yeah,
A ton of fry.
Very happy.
Hey, I'd be happy too if I got to live in a lush jungle like that. We've got Shelleys, which I won't even try again to...
It's one single pair of the Neolamprologus multifasciatus, the smaller of the 2 or 3 Neolamprologus types.
You've got some guppies in there, and I'm assuming because the Shelleys stay at the bottom, they don't really bother the guppies too much.
Through our research, we've heard that a guppy or 2, a surface swimming fish, gives them a sense of protection, a sense of calm.
Because there's something else up there.
Right, yep, yeah, they figured they're up there, they're good, so I'll come out of my shell and be comfortable with my surroundings. And
that makes sense. That's actually a really intelligent way to handle it, especially for something like a bottom dweller like that. So
yeah, the Bacardi we see mess with a surface guppy a little bit, but not too much aggression from them. They just kind of leave them alone.
Awesome. Cichlids and guppies, who knew? But it makes sense.
Small cichlids.
Yes, very, very small cichlids. And in here we have a ton of
that is a
green
guppy grass forest.
It is.
We've got some red cherry shrimp in there. It's actually got about 5 or 6 betta maha chai fry in there growing out. Some ivory, some blue mystery snails. Just yeah, you can see a little.
Yep, saw them down there. Speaking of your betta fish, I want to kind of cut over here real quick because this guy is awesome. That is also a betta fish, but it's, was it probably 6 inches long, 5 inches long?
Probably a good 4 or 5. Yeah.
He's a awesome looking fish.
That's the F1 Betta Unmaculata male. He's a mouthbrooder. Him and the female do a clutch similar to your Splendens, and share the eggs and the sperm, and then he captures everything up and holds it into his mouth until they're free swimming.
That's awesome. Like I was talking to you about before, you know, it's cool to see that there are mouth brooding all kinds of fish, cichlids and bettas, and a lot of people don't know that because they're used to the more like half moons and the veil tails that they get at Petco. They don't, you know, there's all these different kinds of the more wild type bettas. We have even more bettas in here, if I can find where they went. They're all hiding. They were out this whole time. Oh, nope. There's one. There they are. So what are these?
It's also a mouth brooder. It's Betta albumorginata. It's a smaller mouth brooder, wild type.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's kind of hard to get a bigger ones than the ones next door. I don't think I've ever seen a betta nearly that large before.
Yeah, they're one of the bigger species available.
They're awesome, though.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys can see the theme here. Lots and lots of plants and lots of happy, healthy breeding fish. And that's kind of the thing, and you know, when it comes to these smaller fish, is plants make an environment. The environment is what is conducive to breeding fish. And as you can see, you know, Paps Fish, they've done a phenomenal job of getting their fish to spawn and breed, and they have a nice little manageable fish room. And here we have shrimp and and snails, and some of the betta fry are in here as well. So in here there's these purple mystery snails, which are, if I can get the color right, they're super cool looking. Let me see if I can not drop my phone in the tank. But you can see, like, they're purple, which is awesome. And I don't think I've ever seen a purple mystery snail before. And some more guppies. That male's very pretty. Are these a specific strain, or?
He's one of the males from the cherry and the bluegrass.
Oh, so he's one of the ones that you bred out of the other ones.
Yep.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, so you get a nice pastel coloration. Kind of random at this point, it seems, but
Right.
good looking fish either way.
Well, if you want them to breed true, you probably have to breed them down a bit.
Yep, yeah, some line breeding, multiple generations.
Yep.
Of work.
And that's the thing with, you know, stuff like guppies, is they're either going to be bred to the point where they will breed true, or they're not.
Right.
And if they're not, you just have to line breed them until they do breed true. And that's a thing that you can do. Guppies reproduce quickly over multiple generations, so they're probably one of your ideal candidates to do it with. More snails. More guppy grass. And more snails. And more guppy grass. Those are pretty. I was gonna say it looks almost pink. And down here,
It's currently just frying her out from the red albino guppies.
so you were telling me about the red albinos. They almost didn't make it, but we have a successful fry. So that's always a good thing, because now they're in your water, they'll be more used to it, and you'll be able to grow them out and breed them some more.
Yeah, we feed them micro worms, micro starter foods. We have brindle worms, we'll have brine shrimp once they're a little bit bigger.
So I'm lazy. I use North Fin Fry Starter. I'm a little basic, and it's probably not the ideal thing, but they tend to do well. A couple of guppy tanks I've had have been planted, so they're able to pick off like the moss and stuff like that. And Java moss is phenomenal for that, because it catches all those little things they
Yeah.
can just kind of snack on as fry.
Yeah, that's an established tank, so there's plenty.
More of the APISTOS cockatoides fry. And you already have a pair of them in here. They're a very young pair. But it is a pair. And that's awesome, because it gives you more stock to breed from.
Yes.
You get to breed out more, because people love the APISTOS, especially the cockatoides.
Yep.
So I imagine, you know, you guys selling fish, this is a good fish to have, and a good fish to have breeding actively.
Yep. Yeah, it's our first spawn of them, so they're juvenile size at this point. Definitely sex them.
Sometimes you get the sneaker males, the ones that look like females and turn out to be males once you take the dominant male out of the tank.
Yeah, sub males, they'll definitely mimic a female color that when you don't get picked on or any aggression towards them, and then once you pull them out, separate them, then that comes all the color.
Yep, they might be small cichlids, but they are still cichlids nonetheless. And then I see you have a spawning mop in here.
Yep,
This is your
spawning mop. It's a pair of gold spotted Killifish.
So I'm not super into Killies, but these guys are gorgeous. They're very, very bright orange.
Well, the coloration got us too. That's why we.
Isn't that always how it goes? Ooh, pretty fish.
Yep, pretty fish. Gotta have it.
Yep, it's always the pretty fish thing.
It's a non-annual. It'll live 2 or 3 years. So hopefully we can get some eggs and try to get them to breed. But if not, they're just a nice pet to have. And,
Something different.
Obviously, it's still a hobby and always will be. And sometimes you just gotta have fish you like.
And at the end of the day, it's pretty much always about the hobby. You know, you have people that just turn into it for money, and that's fine too. But for me, it's always about the hobby as well. And I can't breed everything I have, but I would like to try to breed most of the things I have. But at the end of the day, I'll always just keep fish that I just like.
Yep.
And that's the thing. It's learning. It's getting more fish. It's meeting people. It's getting to see other people's fish rooms, and even walking through here, like there's so many different kinds of guppies, and you know, you have the APISTOS and the Angelfish and the livebearers over there, and the snails and the shrimp and all the cool bettas. You know, this is so far and away different than the stuff that I keep, but it's awesome nonetheless, and I still really, really enjoy seeing stuff like this. And we got some Endlers in here.
Yeah, it's rainbow tiger Endlers. You got Corey Schultze, species black in there. A couple random mystery snails.
I think you have snails in every single tank that you have.
Be it mysteries, be it pond snails, Malaysian trumpets, ram's horns. Yeah, there's probably snails in every one of them.
So if you guys need snails, hit them up on Facebook. I will leave a link down in the description below so you can go visit their Facebook and you can see what they have and talk to them directly. And since I've been here, you know, I mean, the APISTOS are the thing that really stick out to me, but there's some nice guppy strains. And even though I fairly recently gave away the last of my guppies, maybe one day I'll start another guppy tank. Maybe I'll do ponds next year or something like that and just see if I can breed up a ton of them. So I was telling you guys I wanted to do a central air system with one pump and PVC with all the little nozzles attached, and this is exactly what he's done. It's one pump right there running all these tanks through the PVC. He's got the adjustable nozzles. He's drilled them and put them in, and that one pump is running all these tanks. And apparently that pump can handle up to like 78 tanks. So if you're looking for an inexpensive way to do sponge filters mostly, or box filters, get a nice linear piston air pump, run your length of PVC, drill it out with all the nozzles, and call it a filtration system.
Alright guys, so let me know down in the comments below what you thought the coolest fish was. Personally, I love the giant bettas. I thought those things were awesome. And it was just a really nice tour, and I spent a couple hours there with them talking about how they run their business, how they ship, how they breed, kind of how their hobby started and evolved. Maybe one day we'll do kind of like a fish stories type of thing where everyone tells their story, and we can do that as a series or something like that. But they actually have a really good story, and it lends itself to the name and to the kind of the way they do business, because they're very personal, very personable, very friendly folks. So I hope you enjoyed it, guys. That's it for today. If you haven't already, make sure to hit the subscribe button below, and I will see you next time.